Guys, welcome to another episode of Badass Unscripted. Thanks for being a follower. A concept I like to bring into every training session, every coaching session, with every new group I work with, is the idea of done things, not ing things. Let me explain. If teams are standing up, and they do demos and they do stand-ups every day, but they find that they're not things aren't going faster, things aren't better, they're not cutting waste, they're not saving any time, they're not saving any money, immediately you start looking at their practices. Say, all right, show me what you do, let me watch you. And one thing you'll frequently see is that even if mindsets are really good, people still focus on ing things. What are ing things? Well, they're things that typically end in the letters ing. Thinking, planning, meeting, talking, considering, designing. Those things are not done things. Part of the magic of what I believe makes Agile work is that we're continuously focusing on finished things that are not only done, but they're checked in so that the person who has to use them next can get at them. It should be no surprise that when you plan a sprint, effectively within that sprint, you're looking at a mini waterfall. There's always a bunch of dependent things. You have to have requirements before you can design against them, and then you have to have those designs before you can build. And of course, you have to finish building before you test stuff. The difference between Agile and pure waterfall is that we do mini waterfalls every couple of weeks. But there's nothing you can do to subtract from the nature of things, that there's dependencies built into everything we do. So if that's the case, things don't move if you're thinking about them, if you're planning to do them, if you're working on them. Moreover, it's really tough to tell if we're in trouble if we don't define done accurately. So if we show up for a stand-up every day and people are like, yesterday I worked on, today I'm planning to, those are not done things, those are ing things. And as a result, it takes away your power to be truly agile, which to me means finishing a thing, focusing on what can we complete today, so that not only is the scope retired, but it is ready for the next person to take on. If you've ever done the coin flip game, you know the power of going from flipping 20 coins, and when they're done, they hand it to the next person. The next iteration of the game, you flip 5 and then hand the next person those 5, and they start flipping that 5, while the first person starts flipping the next 5 out of the pile of 20. You're still flipping the same number of coins, but a bunch of different things happens. One important thing, is that the rest of the team's not sitting there twiddling their thumbs, so 3 out of 4 people are watching the first guy flip the coins. And then once you pass the pile, it's a different 3 people watching a different person flip the coins. Done things are important because when something's done, you can pass it on at the end of a day to a teammate so they can take it the rest of the way or do their bit on it. So if you're troubleshooting productivity problems and you're sitting in a team room with people, watch these behaviors. And here's how you can help. It starts with sprint planning. Sprint planning should define tasks that are about a day in size if possible. And they should be defined as done when they are completed, checked in, ready for the next person to use somehow. So that could be design document updated, it could be code complete, it could be code reviewed, it could be code completely tested. Various states of doneness by different people who have to work on it, but we should agree on what those degrees of doneness are so that every day a person can commit to a degree of done. Now, if you have 3 days worth of testing to do, you might be tempted to create in sprint planning a 3-day testing task, at the end of which everything is 100% done. The danger in that, of course, is, as I say many times, you come in on the first day, do a stand-up, first day of testing. How's it going? Oh, it's going well. We're testing. Great. Day 2. How's it going? Still going well. We're testing. Day 3. You're supposed to be done today. How's it going? Not done. Haven't started. Right? If there's nothing to look at the end of the day, if there's nothing to check in and review and pass on to the next person, we're missing an opportunity to become massively productive because we're not completing things in a way that's visible, ready to hand to the next person. Handing stuff to the next person, having a place where done things are put, is a great way to add a little bit of momentum and a little bit of pressure to team members, because people who might be tempted to say, it's going good, I'm almost done, when they in fact haven't really started on it yet. We can automatically cure those kinds of performance issues without having to shame or correct behaviors or individually speak to a person and tell them they better straighten up. We allow them to self-tune their performance by saying, at the end of every day, your work has got to be in a place where the team can review it and or use it. Done things. That makes sense to me. If you're working at team level and you're looking to supercharge performance and really boost things up, look for this one pocket where people tend to get lost in ing things. When moving the dial on items, there is absolutely no value in meeting, talking, thinking, or planning. Those are productivity black holes that traditionally people can spend an awful lot of time in, and you know what? It's perfectly natural because it helps people defer commitment. Commitment is scary, right? So to have a few extra days to say, we're working on it, we're planning, we're meeting on it today, can sometimes help people with the procrastination bug. So again, another way to help people self-tune with that is don't give them an option. So teach your teams not to focus on ing things, but rather to plan for and report on done things. Simple rule. Try it out. Let me know if it works for you. Guys, thanks again for being true believers. You can find me online at badassagile.com. You can find me on Twitter at badass_agile and on Instagram at badassagile. See you next time.